struggling to grow your calves, let me show you a lot of things you're probably fucking up and how we can fix it. Calves are one of the few muscles that in bodybuilding and competing and just honestly people who come to the gym, they think you either have or you don't. So it's purely genetics. And I'm here to tell you, yes, like to grow freaky calves like say Dallas McCarver had or Flex Lewis, Mike Matazzaro, you're probably right. You may not ever get to those just insane like Dorian Yates style calves, right? But I can promise you, if you work them, they will grow. They will get better. So no matter where they insert, if they start low, like say Eric Finkhauser's did or Ben Bukulski's, or they sit higher on your towards your knee joint, it doesn't matter. You can still make that muscle grow. We've had to find ways to optimally train it. So we're gonna go through some common mistakes that I see made in all the gyms that I go to, or people I see doing the internet wrong when they're posting videos on Instagram, YouTube, and let's talk through those using the standing calf raise. Let me start off with what I see a lot, right? So you see a lot of this. So if you notice, I'm just working the top range, barely getting range of motion. The money on calves to me are the two extremes. So big stretch, so all this range from here to here, that's huge, and then all the ones where you get here and hold that, that's the other extreme range, so full range. So if you aren't doing this, full down, all the way up. And you notice if you ever watch any of my calf videos, I'll actually sit in the hole and stretch. So 1-1, 1-1, 2-2, 2-2, 3-3, 3-3. So, in my opinion, you have to get that full lengthened calf and you have to get that fully shortened calf under load. So the reason I say that is think about when you walk all day long. You're going neutral to contraction, neutral to contraction. You aren't getting depth unless you're on a hillside all day, every day, and you're walking in an incline. So you have to work that extreme range of motion, making that calf work that bottom third. It's gonna be where all the money's at for growing calves, and then getting up there, holding the peak with not only your body weight, because if you think about it on this piece, you're contracting your body weight. So for me, 250 pounds plus whatever weight I load onto the machine. So we get all the way up, hold that contraction, and that's gonna be the stimulating factor for growth. Mistake number 2. It was widely believed in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s that in order to get various portions of the calf, you had to do things with your toes. So, and I was guilty of this, right? So when we did standing calf raise when I was a kid, we do 3 sets feet neutral, 3 sets pigeon toed, 3 sets toes out. Because we thought if your toes are out, you're working the inner. If your toes are in, you're working the outer. And then in the neutral is hitting the all around calf. So let me show you that real fast. So, as I said, we would do pigeon toed, so here to here. We would go toes out, so here, here, here. And then we go feet neutral, like you see me do. So we would do 9 sets with a max load. Now, in my opinion, if you want to work, say, different angles of calf, I would heavily encourage you to move your feet, not by changing your toe or heel angle, but changing the distance between your feet. So let me show you that. So if you're gonna do all that volume for calves, let's say you do 3 sets with your feet all the way together. We do 3 sets with your feet neutral or at shoulder width. And then we go 3 sets where your toes are all the way out like that. At the end of the day though, I don't think it has to be that fancy. To me, get where you feel the strongest, get where you feel the most contraction or the most muscle connection, and just bang your sets there. All right, the next thing, getting other joints that aren't your angle into this. So there's 3 other joints we can get into it, obviously. We can get our upper body, meaning shrugging with our shoulders, if I'm doing standing, our hip by pushing our hips back, and then lastly our knee, getting knee flexion, that's gonna work the quad. So we'll show you all 3 of those where it's gonna be shitty form. If you're doing this in any capacity, so let's say you're going there, there, that's traps, guys. Look, watch my traps work through my shirt. You see that? That is not my calves. Next, the hip. If you're doing this, that's glutes. My calves aren't doing shit. Lastly, the knee. If you're doing this, you're squatting. You're doing knee extension. Guess what knee extension is? Quad. The only joint that moves here is your ankle. Down, up, down, up. our shoulders don't raise, our hips don't go back, and our knees do not go down. All right, number 4, improper alignment. So what you'll see if you look at the foot, we want it to go up and down, up and down. If your foot starts collapsing in or collapsing out, that is gonna take pressure off of our calf. And that 9 times out of 10 is gonna mean you lack or you have poor ankle mobility, and you're going to too extreme range of motion for your ankle mobility. So let me show you what some of those look like. This is gonna be really hard for me to demonstrate on camera, but I'm gonna try my best here. So if you get here and your foot starts to collapse, so if your knees like shoot together and you start getting on weird parts of your foot, either this way, and that actually really hurts, or internally rotated, that's gonna be bad. So what you wanna think about here is all the weight is gonna be on that essential big toe and you're driving up. If you start to feel weight transfer to your pinky toe or your heels doing something really strange and awkward, that's what we do not want. So straight up and down, everything in alignment from hip to knee to ankle to toe. All right, last thing here, number 5, and that's just not getting your foot on the right spot of the platform, whether you're doing a donkey calf raise, a seated calf raise, or a standing. So if I'm on this platform in particular, look where my foot is in relation. All the weight is gonna be optimized on my, let me take my shoe off, on the ball of my foot, so right here. So if you look at that placement, I'm able to get full extension, and then I'm gonna go full flexion here. So if you're there to there. Now, if you start, most people try to get some like weird foot placement, and you can't really get any good range of motion. That's not properly loading the calf, or their feet get too south on the platform, and they really can't get any leverage because now I'm just on my toes. I have to get the ball of my foot on the base of that metal, so that when I do go down and then come up, I can get good contractions. Stretch, contract, stretch, contract. So not too far forward, not too far back, right on the ball of that foot, so that you're able to get all the way up and drive off of the ball of your foot as well as your toe. There you have it, guys, the 5 most common mistakes made on calves. Now, for all you guys out there who don't care about calves, throw this video away. But those of us who want a completely developed body, if you're doing any of these 5 mistakes, fix it today. And then guess what? At the end of the day, as you know, all the premises of my videos, work your dick off, and they're gonna grow. Until next time, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Christmas TV.